Hello my gorgeous viewers, welcome back to Alice Del Monte. In today's video, you're gonna see what I have in my tool bag. So without further ado, let's get on to it. I've got my tool bag here, straight from the garden. I haven't cleaned them yet, but they will get there and they go back into the mud. So the most important thing is that I give them a brush and they remain dry once I've used them throughout the day, but it's okay if they get wet. It's not a big deal. Okay, so this is my tool bag. It's got everything I need to work at the Botanic Garden. Okay, so first thing I'll show you is my cut-proof gloves. They hang on a little clip on my bag, tool bag. And I like putting these on because they're just very comfortable. There we go. And they need to be cut proof because I'm always working with some sharp tools, especially my secateurs. I have cut some things off, but luckily not my limbs, just the gloves. But these are the best. They do not get cut. Honestly, they're the beast. And they're called Lynn River, and it's got even a little note saying you're safe in you're in safe hands. NFT, and it's a size small for me. And as you know, if you've been following me for a while now, I work at the Dunedin Botanic Garden, and it's quite nice to work for them because they provide you with the safety gears that you need. So gloves, I get a new pair every time I get a rip and I need a new pair. And let me just say, they last a long time. The last pair I had, they lasted 8 months, so they're a very good pair of gloves. Next I want to show you is my tool. It's called Nawashi. It is wonderful. I have retired my Wonder Weeder. It's okay. No, I didn't even retire it. It broke before I retired and then I lost it. But this is great. It's good for scraping mud, scraping anything you don't need, but wonderful also for weeding. And let me just say, if you've been working in the factories a long time, you've got... I need to calm down when I do videos and just go. Okay, you get sore wrists because, I don't know, you could be doing repetitive tasks, and for me it was working with tulips and lilies, and it was always wrist hand work. So this has relieved me a lot from having to force my wrist to do a lot. All you have to do is grind in and then pull. So Nawashi, I totally recommend if you haven't got one yet. I bought mine from Mitre. Very pricey. I think it was like $57, but what I get out of it and I don't hurt my wrist as much is a bonus. Not like necessary for me. Okay, next I want to show you is my pair of secateurs. I like hearing that crunch scissors sound. So to do that, I keep it maintained. I don't have with me at the moment, but I use sandpaper to clean any plant sap or debris, because the blade gets sticky after like a day of pruning, and to do that I usually sand it away. And sometimes I will carry around my filer to sharpen it, keep it sharp, and you don't struggle with cutting things, mostly little lateral branches when you're doing your pruning. And another thing I do carry in my bag, not in my tool bag because it doesn't fit, but it's a silicone spray, and this is great for when this gets really hard to work with. Like say you want to cut something and the handles just get really sticky. I would show you, I spray around the metal area and where the nodes of nuts and things are, but I will not do that because I'm in my room. Although I do like the smell, so but I won't do it. It smells great. Who doesn't like the smell of silicone spray or CRC? But it's also great for whenever I hear that squeaky sound on my scissors. Secateurs, sorry. Okay, next thing I want to show you is my hand saw, and it's got two settings. A very open, and then one straight. I normally use the leveled one, but I guess you could use this if you wanted to get into difficult to reach areas. But it's got two settings, and I do have a very old toothbrush that I don't use anymore to clean the teeth, because I mean, your tools are gonna last and do you well as long as you look after them from keeping them clean. What else do I have here? Also, I bought this from Mitre 10. I think it valued at $80, but super necessary if you need to. There are times when I'm wanting to load branches onto the trailer and it doesn't fit, and I get my saw out and cut it out, but great for pruning trees. Something I have here is also a notebook and a pen. So notebook and pen also very necessary for the kind of job I do. It's an apprentice job, so I've signed up to do a 3-year horticultural course where we are required by the Dunedin Botanic Garden to supply a daily diary of our work. So in my notebook I write tips and tricks, more like tips, don't call it tricks, tips that I learned throughout the day, whether it's from my colleagues, myself, from seeing from the curators or whoever's guiding me. They will let me know about things, and if I didn't know, I would write them down here and then supply them in my daily diary. Other things I write are plant names. I'm constantly being bombarded by plant names, and luckily, my gorgeous viewers, everything's labeled, so I won't need to bother anybody or find someone to ask, what's this, what that. Although there are things that have been there for longer than 100 years that they're not labeled, but that's okay. Usually they're not very necessary for me. Another thing I have here, because the work company that I work for is very self-conscious, I have a Take 5. And this is a process where you think about your hazards and how to do a job, whether you're permitted to do that job. And I'm quite lucky to work in a place where, if you feel uncomfortable, you don't have to. If you feel unsafe, you don't have to. But there are certain tasks that you need to have a sensible mind in, and this will just remind you of things that you need to be sensible. So it asks you questions like need to assess the risk, list and spot the hazards, and then after you have used, we always, the daily requirement of our protective equipment that we use, protective wearing, PPE, whatever that translates to, protective, and then what's the other P for? Protective PPE. I need to write it here. It's the safety gear that you use. So every day we're required to use safety boots that come steel capped, safety glasses, and I've shown you my cut-proof gloves. And sometimes if we're working in a very, very public area, we use our high vis. Say we're doing work outside the fences, we would use a high vis. Also around where there are public activities, we would wear our high visibility vests just to be visible and that people know that you're working there. So it's great to remind you to do a Take 5 And the take 5 will remind you to be more sensible and aware of the various tasks that you're working with. So it's good. It's really, really good. That is all of the tools that help me throughout the day and every day that I go to work. And yeah, something else, my gorgeous viewers, I didn't say, but if you have and want to work for, if you have worked for the Botanic Garden in Dunedin and have been employed by 4Trades to do so, they supply you with more safety gear, more goodies, and that for me is safe steel capped boots, my gorgeous viewers. I know they can be very, very expensive. I myself have bought 2 pairs already at a price of over $200, and that, hurts, especially if you need it for work. You must buy it. But I've recently not complained, but I let them know that my boots were giving me wet feet since the weather has changed, and we don't always, but depending on the weather conditions, we do still work under the rain, and even so, sometimes you have to go through wet terrain to get into your workspace, so you do get wet feet. And I have ordered waterproof boots today, and I'm super excited. I want to get a message now so that I can go and pick them up, but at the same time, I went to the store. So those waterproof boots, the company that I am employed by will pay for. Isn't that lucky? I'm such a lucky girl. And whoever's working for 4Trades will get them. So it's a privilege. And I will enjoy having dry feet and be happy about it. You're being looked after by a company to do what you love, which is, for me, gardening and learning about plants. It's just been a too long of a journey to get there, but I have got there and I'm doing it. Okay, so the little surprise. Brum, 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 brum. I need drums. But this is for me. This is a treat for me. Shoes are never $100. Especially hardcore work boots that are steel capped. They're not waterproof, but I will use them for hiking, as you know that I like going for very long walks. And yeah, I thought, oh my gosh, they're $100. The ones that the company are going to pay for me were $222, but this, I won't explain why they were selling it on a special, but I'm just lucky. Okay, my gorgeous viewers, and I also bought socks, but I won't show you that either. But it's a dream to have something on special that's $100 for a beautiful steel-capped boots. I have been going on and on and on and on. You've seen what I have in my tool bag. My gorgeous viewers, let me know in the comments below what you'd like to know about my job, about me, about anything. I'm an open book, so I will be present in the next video. You'll see me next time. Mwah.